Looney Tunes Acme Arsenal. Sometimes I wonder how games were ever released. If I can find problems with the game after playing it for 5 minutes, how can game testers not notice it? There were so many problems with the game, it's hard to decide where to start. The plot of the game is that Dr. Frankenbeans makes a time machine to kill the Looney Tunes by going back in time and erasing them from history. But Bugs and his friends steal the plans for the time machine and build their own to stop him. However, you wouldn't know this by playing the game, since the cutscenes barely reference the plot, and instead you have to interpret what's going on. The controls were terrible. A button to jump, B to fire your weapon. You use the C button to use your mallet or guitar, and the Z button to fix your camera. Now it sounds simple, but they overcomplicate it by adding motion controls. Most of the time you will be waggling your Wiimote to do an attack on the evil robots. Now you can also waggle the nunchuck to stun your enemies, at least in theory. The problem with this is that it doesn't work and it's completely broken. It will work when it feels like it. Then there's the awful camera. It will constantly switch you into the worst possible angles, and it will fight you if you try and find a better position. The worlds you have to travel in are ugly. In some places they didn't even attempt to put a background in. It's just all black. Plus the worlds can be very confusing. The level design is awful. Too cramped and crowded. This also might seem like a strange complaint, but the levels were too long. They tended to drag on for 20 to 30 minutes if you actually did all the things they wanted you to do. So what could the programmers do to make this game even worse than adding in a ditzy camera, wonky controls, and boring levels? Oh, I don't know. How about making a bunch of precision long jumps that if you miss, you'll have to redo most of that level again? I couldn't believe the amount of jumps I had to do, and some of them required doing a double jump with a waggle of the nunchuck. That's right, the broken controlled waggle of the nunchuck. The characters you had to control were too small for the environments they were in. Plus, for some reason, there were crates and barrels everywhere for you to smash. Everywhere you went in the worlds, they were littered with them, way past the point of ridiculousness. The programmers put in the laziest tutorial I have ever seen. I think they knew they were making a bad game, so they didn't care. All you have to do is just keep walking, and they put up representations of what buttons to push. They don't tell you what these buttons do, they just want you to do it. I have never hated a game more, only because I knew they were crapping all over a great license. This could have been a great game if they actually cared about what they were doing. Even the worst games out there have some positive about them, and I really can't think of one for this game. The game is terrible in every way. If someone could think of something positive about this game, please write me. Do not buy this game. Do not rent this game. Do not even look at this game. It's a sin that this game even exists.